And now a warm welcome to Rabbi David Stav, who will guide us through this week's Torah portion. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
So to begin, tell us about this week's PARSHA.
Well, this week's portion is a very unique one. It's actually the PARSHA that describes the covenant that all Jews went into before they entered the land of Israel. And that's what makes this PARSHA very unique, because it describes how all old people, young people, people that were alive then, and people that were not alive and actually were never born then, and maybe you are not born even yet now. We will be born in a decade, 2 decades, maybe in the next century, and all of them actually are committed to that covenant, although they have never been there.
Interesting. Now, what is the message or lesson that we can take from that?
I think that what the PARSHA is telling us, that to be a part of the Jewish nation is to be part of the Jewish destiny, and it's something that we haven't chosen to be Jewish. It's something that is an integral part of our lives, no matter whether we decided to be a part of this or not. Now, a private man or woman could decide for themselves that they don't want to be a part of that story, so they will separate from the Jewish people. And even then, the Torah says that it's not so clear that it will be easy or it will be possible to try to escape from the Jewish faith. But this could happen. But if someone wants to be a part of the Jewish covenant, then it means that he has to choose to be a part of that covenant.
Now, it's interesting that you speak about this, because it talks a lot about the unity of the people in Israel and kind of the obligation of the Jewish diaspora around the world to this state. Much like Peres's legacy, this is kind of something that he advocated for throughout his history serving this country. How can we apply these concepts to our daily lives?
Well, I think that, and it's very unique that we are talking in a day after Shimon Peres passed away, and one day before his funeral. I don't know if people know one of the songs that, maybe the only song that Shimon Peres asked that will be sang in his funeral, is the song of Avinu Malkeinu from the prayer of Rosh Hashanah and the first 10 days of Chodesh Tishrei, of the month of Tishrei. Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King, please forgive us for what we are and the way we behave, even though we were not doing as well as you expected, but still have compassion on us and treat us in the right way. I think Shimon Peres, what was so typical for him is the deep concern about the Jewish future, about the Jewish faith, and about the Jewish norms of moral lives in Israel. And I think he cared a lot about the way Israel's image will be not only for the sake of the United Nations or the United States, so they will not be mad at us or will not pressure us, but he really cared about the Jewish image all over the world, because he felt that a part of our mission is to come back to the land of Israel after 2000 of exile, and to be a real continuity of the moral values that the prophets and the head of the prophets, Moshe Rabbeinu, has taught us about them. To be a good nation between God and us, and to be a good nation between ourselves. And I think that was one of the motives that led Shimon Peres throughout his career.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Rav.
You're very welcome. Shabbat Shalom.